Hello everyone. One day when I was flying in Class Delta Airspace, I remember I have trouble receiving the comms from the ATC. ATC is air traffic controllers that controls the traffic around the airport. Then we tried troubleshooting the plane, but to no avail. Communication plays an important role in aviation. But what do you do if your radio fails? Light gun signal is a useful tool to establish communication by the air traffic controllers. From that incident, light gun signal has meant to me a lot. Light gun signal is a LED lights that can be easily seen from the ground and in the air. Now, I'm going to show you how a light gun signal looks like. We need to pretend we are inside a air traffic controllers towers now. And outside of the air traffic controllers is where the aircraft and the vehicles and personnel can see us. The ATC will send out a LED lights that can be easily seen from the ground and in the air. So they will emit red, white, or green lights. The light gun signals are emitted from the tower. Next time when you fly with your instructor, you can ask your instructor to request light gun signals from the ATC. Today, I'm going to cover 3 elements about light gun signals. First, we will introduce the colors and the patterns of the light gun signals. Secondly, I will cover the meanings of different lights and different lights patterns. And lastly, we will include a scenario. Do you know what colors does light gun signal emit? They come in sharp contrast colors that help different people to identify it easily. Light gun signals comes in green, white, and red. These signals comes in 2 patterns. Can you guess what patterns they exist? They can either come in steady or flashing. Now I'm going to show you a chart. A chart that comes in handy when you read it or refer it. It can be easily accessible from the Foreflight or AIM table 4-3-1 in section 3 airport operations. Do you remember the traffic lights we use in the United States? It comes in red, green, and orange. Green means go and red means stop. ATC light gun signals are similar. For steady green light, it means clear to cross for vehicles and personnel in the airport, while the aircraft in the ground are clear to take off. Aircraft in flight is clear to land, and green means go. Flashing green is in the middle of go. For vehicles and personnel on the ground, it is not applicable. In contrast, aircraft on the ground is clear to taxi, while aircraft in the air will usually interpret it as return for landing. The next thing you can expect after you see a flashing green is a steady green. It means you are clear to land. When you see steady green, you are clear to land. Now we are going to discuss about the colors red. Red means stop. It often implies danger. Whenever you are on the ground in the airport, either you are in a vehicle or in the aircraft, you should stop. Keep an eye of the aircraft flying around and give way to another aircraft and continue circling if you are in the air. Then we have a flashing red. Movement of vehicles and personnel should clear off the runway or the taxiway. For aircraft on the ground, you should taxi clear of the runway. Airport is currently unsafe to land. Then we have a flashing white. Flashing white can only be used when you are on the ground. It means return to the starting point. You may go back to a parking spot if you came from the ramp. Alternate red and green means exercise extreme caution in all situations. What you will see is they will put green, red, green, red, green, red. If you see red and green alternating, it means exercise extreme caution in all situations. Either you are in a vehicle, in an aircraft, on the ground, or in the air. Reason you will see the red and green alternating light is when there is an emergency traffic around, or there is a high amount of traffic in the airport, or either there are some abnormalities happening in the airport. Now I have a scenario for you. What do you do if you lost comms in a traffic pattern? Firstly, you can troubleshoot the airplane. So you can try seeing if you tune the wrong frequency, and you can try tuning it up, volume it up, or also changing the port, making sure you put your headset inside the correct port, and try changing the frequency box. If you have comms 1 and comms 2, you can try switching them. Then if there's nothing happen and you are sure that you lost comm, you can squawk 7600, rock your wing, and use your landing light to flash at the ATC, so the ATC are on the same page as you. You can flash your landing light by turning it on and off and on and off for a few times. How if you are flying from an uncontrolled airspace to a controlled airspace, and before you fly you already know that you have a failure on the comms and you need to go into the controlled airspace to fix that? In this scenario, you can call the tower first and let them know what time you are going to land and what time you are going to enter the airspace. Tell them the approximate time that you are coming into the airspace, and the ATC will provide you assistance by giving you the light gun signals. Now I have an assessment too. Think about the light gun signal you will probably see in the air when you lost comms. There are 5 possible lights. What you will see is maybe a green, maybe a flashing green, red, flashing red, or green and red, because the white flashing light is not applicable in the air. What kind of light gun signals will you see after you have landed? Try to pause and think before you play it again. Then now you have landed. Imagine the light you will see. You might see a red light, it means stop. Then you might see a flashing red, it means taxi off the runway. And you might see a flashing green lights, means clear to taxi. After you see the flashing green, you can taxi back to the ramp or the parking spot. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.